Thank you guys so much. So I know there are a number of experts in the room too that I'd really love to hear some of your insights. We have a microphone right there. I'm going to pass the microphone over to the panel for questions or observations. Just one quick conclusion. I think we know how to meet people where they are as a result of this effort. You see lots of permutations of that. And I think that that's going to be the key to how we're going to be leveraging this moment in time to meet people where they are, to spread science, make science sexy again. Okay, I'm going to pass the mic over here, and then I invite you to come up to this mic here for questions or observations. And then at the very end, after we're all done, I'll start drawing names from that bag if you haven't put your thing in there already, and we will start drawing the prizes, the door prizes. Here you go. Questions? So can I call on some people if you don't have them? Travis?
So come up here if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
if you don't mind, just so because we're recording. And I really want Allison to just say a few words too about what the light sound device is and how that's going to be applicable way beyond eclipses too. We've got her in the audience, we want to use her. Just fair warning. We are running out of time also.
Should I let other,
No, go
you
for
know
it.
what I'm going to ask about, and this could take a while. So
Go ahead.
You want to ask it, we'll start the answer and then we'll
okay.
expand
So
out.
first off, I want to say I went to college in Texas in San Antonio. I went to Trinity University. I've driven I-10 from one side to the other. I now live in Alaska. It takes a lot of chutzpah to come to Alaska and talk about how big a state. But I want to say, so as you know, we have a solar eclipse coming here, March 30th, 2033. It's going to go over western Alaska. The communities that it's going to go over, it's going to go over 3 towns that have airports that are big with hotels, but it's going to go over a lot of communities to totally redefine what rural means. I mean, these are communities, gravel airstrip, no hotels, no restaurants, a couple hundred people, primarily indigenous populations. And my task as a professor here is I'm trying to figure out how to get everyone in the great state of Alaska to have a safe and a special experience. And so I would love to hear from you all what thoughts you might have on what we can do here in Alaska, and maybe how you'd like to be involved in helping us have a
On that last part, Travis, I'm afraid you're on your own.
Well, I'll sit down, but I'd love to hear what you all have to say.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to start. Who wants to start? You. How about you, Cody? Because of the indigenous.
Oh, okay. I see. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I mean the indigenous community here in Alaska will have different views of these eclipses as well as compared to like they are our northern cousins, but as well they have different views as us as well. Certain views are different. Key differences here. There's a lot of key differences. If we go to the language wall, I can show you a lot of key differences. But a lot of times when it comes to reaching out, doing outreach to indigenous communities, it's just involving the community in general. Because of the Eclipse Task Force, I was able to join other working groups for indigenous people, and so it's what some of us are indigenous in some of these working groups, so it's just what we're noticing is just sometimes it's just a lack of involvement of the community. Like it's like just involving the community, like grassroots, like, you know, inviting everyday people. Like, yeah, tribal leadership will know, tribal leadership will show up, but it's just more like sometimes you just need to get that, like the community involved. So they probably run things a little different up here than they do on my reservation, but certain reservations here, they'll have, if it's kind of like a Dene thing, it's like they have their community, they have local community centers. They have like, yeah, they just have local community centers as well. If you go to IHS and you can just do outreach at IHS and talk with IHS and be like, hey, can I put up this flyer here? But yeah, just reach out to the community center as well. Just, you know, indigenous leadership. Indigenous leadership always wants to be they love being at the table. So it's just like, you know, it's just that inclusion of them is what, you know, just reaching out and just saying, hey, would you like to be involved in this planning? It goes a long step instead of just, you know, coming in there saying like, well, I'm here to tell you about something that you should watch. And, you know, but yeah, it's just asking like, hey, we're planning this event or this event's going on. And would you like to be involved in some planning, or would you like to like know more information? So yeah, a lot of times it's just reaching out to communities. Sorry, I feel like I'm just ranting now. Yeah, just reach out to community centers. Usually, if you can't find the community centers, just Google like the tribe's name community centers, or just chairman, president, and their first names will pop up. Or if you know any Indigenous people yourself, just ask like, how do you get involved in your community, or would you know of how I could get in contact with certain people? Because I don't know, a lot of times on Indigenous reservations, people know people. They're always connected, and usually it's a tight knit community because we have family, and yeah.
He'll give talks too.
Oh yeah, if you need me, I can give talks.
So, first of all, it's wonderful that you're already thinking about it. Okay, you got a long time between now and then, but it'll go faster than you think. This will be an interesting eclipse because there's sort of a growing worldwide eclipse chasing community, and they're not going to be paying a lot of attention to Alaska yet, but in a few more years they're going to start planning because these tours are planned years in advance, and so it would be a good idea to be reaching out to the communities that will be in the path, making sure they're aware that this is happening, and thinking about what kinds. The larger Alaska tourism industry should be aware that there will probably be a large influx, not huge, but an influx of tourism at a weird time of year, right? I don't know how many people you get in late March. And there will probably be tours that spend most of their time elsewhere, but are going to want to go up into the path. There may be eclipse flights, So the more people you can make aware of what's coming in all these different areas that we've talked about, education and emergency management, transportation, hospitality, all of that stuff, and to recruit as many of your fellow astronomers as you can, including amateurs, just to start planting the seeds now so that people are thinking about it. And they may not be all that engaged this early, but as they get a heads up, that'll help a lot. And then a few years out, you're going to start really planning in earnest, and you'll have a better idea of what the tourism is starting to look like because you'll see the ads. You'll see the ads for the tours.
One quick thing to add is that it's an enormous opportunity for visibility about all of the parts of Alaska that will both be in the path and will be available for tourist opportunities during that time. Even if people don't come, people will write about you. They'll feature you. You'll get loads of visibility for your preparations and for the area in general. So use it for that as well.
I just thought of something. So in 2015, there was a total eclipse in Spitsbergen, the archipelago up off of Norway. And it was in March. And it was very cold, and some people got frostbite. And there were a lot of equipment problems because of the cold. It might actually be worth getting in touch or having your hospitality industry getting in touch with theirs and seeing what lessons you can learn about how they planned for tourism in March of 2015.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I'll say something really quick as it goes by. In addition to what you were saying with getting leadership involved, keep going back to. I would say if you were getting people involved and then you think that you've utilized what has been shared with you, and then going back again and saying, hey, this is what we created, just something that happened with us in terms of working with libraries. We created a couple flyers based on working together. Just the minor thing of going back again, we realized they said, please, you can't have it as 2 pages, it's 1 page. People will only take 1 page. It's something super minor like that, like repeatedly going back. And something else we did 6 months before the eclipse, we hired an extra person just to essentially answer the emails. You're probably going to need that. So if you're setting yourself up as the person who's going to be getting the emails, just be prepared that the calls are going to come in and the emails are going to come in a big kind of way. So in that 6-month period, because people don't know about it. Oh my God, every single person knows about it and has a question.
Travis, I think the first thing I would tell you is what my number one rule is when I was planning for our total solar eclipse, I kept my residents first in mind. I was planning my total solar eclipse event for my residents. Now, being the tourism director, they're like, Trish, you got to bring in people. People are looking for an authentic experience now more than ever. So I wouldn't want to have a rodeo in Missouri when you're all having a rodeo. Like, that's not what my people do, you know? So if your communities have a very successful festival or an event that they do, I just took our event, our Mayfest, and I just made it into a solar fest. Don't try to recreate the wheel. These people are already, they already have a support group, a volunteer group for that event. Let's see if they can just duplicate it. So, you know, they'll understand that it's like, oh my God, we got to create a whole new festival or something like that. Let your community do what they're comfortable doing, because when the eclipse is over with, these are the people that you're going to see in the grocery store and at the gas station, you know, dropping your kids off at school. And that's where you want the lasting effect to be. Okay?
I'm glad you said that, because that kind of turned into what I was going to say, so I don't have to say it now. But definitely leverage your community, leverage your educators. At no point in time did I go, oh, wow, I have plenty of people talking about this that I don't have to worry about filling that request. And there's always going to be, especially you get close to the date, there's always going to want to be organizations and schools and groups that want to learn and want a presentation and want to prepare for it. You know, so getting your community as prepared, as educated as possible, you know, your libraries, your elementary school educator. I mean, your elementary school kids are going to be your subject matter experts on this, you know, when it comes around in 20 years, 19 years. So really, much in the way Trish said, you know, capitalize on the skills of your communities, what they know best, and how they can best talk to and communicate and prepare their fellow neighbors.